Hi friends, my name is Katie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk all about books with mental health representation. For those of you that don't know, mental health representation is super important to me as somebody who is diagnosed with depression and anxiety and undiagnosed with what I am sure is ADHD. There is just something so special about being able to experience this done well in books. I think it really just helps us feel seen. So we're going to go over 6 books that I put together for this. 3 of them I've read and 3 of them are on my TBR, so let's dive in. The first book we're going to talk about is Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. You guys probably knew this book was going to be on here. This book and Unloved are just some of my favorite books. I ate them up. I loved them so much. But they are also heavy-hitting topics, if that makes sense. So in this book, we're following Reese, and he is really struggling. He has some severe PTSD from a hockey injury that happened to him last season. And I mean to a point where he very much self-isolated. He has very severe panic attacks, and he's really kind of forcing himself to get back out there because he is the captain and he feels like everyone is relying on him and he doesn't want to let anyone down. This man. Protect this man, please. On the flip side, we're following Sadie, and she is juggling a lot. She is trying to keep up with her schoolwork, her skating, and then also taking care of her 2 younger brothers as well. And so the last thing she really needs is this hockey player trying to steal her focus. But these two kind of have this connection that neither of them can explain, and this is such a beautiful, sad story, and I loved it. I ate it up. I think if you enjoy books that really focus on the emotional side of some stories, I think you will really like this one. Then we're going to talk about Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I loved this one. I didn't love the ending, but I loved this one. Brie was my favorite from Part of Your World. She's just so sassy and fierce and opinionated, and she was the best. She stole the show in Part of Your World, in my opinion. So I was so excited for her to get her own book. And Jacob, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is boyfriend material. This is a man, and I'm obsessed with him. In this book, essentially, we are following Brianna and we are following Jacob, and they end up working at the same hospital, and Brie kind of is feeling threatened by him. She feels like he is here to steal her promotion that she's worked so hard for, which is not the truth at all. On top of dealing with that, she's also dealing with the fact that her brother is sick and needs a kidney transplant, and that is a lot to handle. But Jacob's kind of dealing with his own dilemma. You see, his brother's getting married and his family's really worried about him because you see Jacob's brother is getting married to Jacob's ex-girlfriend. So in a panic, Jacob tells his family, like, it's totally fine. I have a girlfriend. She's going to come with me to the wedding. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He does not. But you know where this is going to go, and it was such a good time. And Jacob's anxiety throughout this book, I felt, was so well done, and I really need to reread this one. Then we have Broken Play by Riley Page, and this book just came out yesterday on June 5th, so you should be able to get your hands on it now on KU if that's something that you have. And in this one, I didn't dive too deep into it because honestly, I do still like to have that element of like finding out the story as I go, but do always make sure, obviously with all these books, that you check your trigger warnings. In this book, it is a college setting, it's a football romance, and it's friends to lovers. I think it's kind of like It's Always Been Them, maybe like right people, wrong time kind of scenario. In this book, it appears like the female main character is going to be the one that struggles with anxiety and kind of like her self-worth. Then we have Every Rule Worth Breaking, and in this book, we're following Mackenzie, and she's really struggling with her identity and her anxiety, and so she wants to go on this journey to rediscover herself, and that starts with her heading back to school, where she ends up meeting Aiden, who's kind of going through his own journey because he was part of this dare that went wrong, and now he's looking at a 10-game suspension, and it really could change everything he's worked so hard for. Then we have Drive Me Crazy by Carly Robin. This is a book that has been on my TBR for so long, and it will be my first Formula One book, so I'm very, very eager to get to this one. In this book, we're following Blake, and he really needs to rework his reputation. Things are not looking good for him right now. He decides that he's going to write a tell-all book so he can kind of control the narrative, and Ella decides that she's the one that's up for this challenge. In this book, you can expect Grumpy Sunshine, Formula One, Slow Burn with Spice, and there's also mental health representation with therapy. Then we have Those Two Words by Ronnie Matthews, and this is a start to a small town series, and in this you can expect childhood friends to lovers, slow burn, second chance romance, found family. It's a really good time, in my opinion. In this story, Johanna, she left everything 6 years ago, including Patrick, who was like her best friend, and they were just kind of starting their relationship when she was like, sorry, I'm out, gotta go. Now, 6 years later, she has to come back because she is going to try and help save her family restaurant, and she has to work with Patrick to do so. That is literally the last thing that he wants to happen. However, there is such history there that neither of them can ignore, but old feelings can never really stay buried. In this book, Joanna is really dealing with struggles in terms of her mental health health and her anxiety. Be aware that there are panic attacks in this book. Those are the books I have for you in terms of books with mental health representation. If you have a book that you think I really should try that fits, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in watching more, I'll leave a video here. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!